I would like to acknowledge that this video is being filmed on the traditional lands of the Wurrundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to their elders past and present, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander or First Nations people who may be watching this video today. Hi everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner, and welcome back to my channel, and happy Booktube birthday to my channel. So this was around the time when I first shared my very first Booktube video. My channel's actually a little bit older than this. My Booktube content channel is 6 years old. My official channel start is a little bit older than that by 2 years, and the channel birthday is in August. But I'm celebrating when I first started making book content because why not? It feels like a bit of a milestone. Although please don't go digging for old videos because they're terrible. Don't do that. But to celebrate my Booktube birthday, I thought I would talk about some book series that I marathoned, because you may or may not have noticed over the last few years that sometimes I pick up a book and then I get so invested that I literally just keep reading the rest of the series until I'm done, or until I get to the most recent release in the book. And I'll usually do it in a very short period of time. Sometimes it's only days. That is a thing with me. The first one that I want to mention, and this is probably, this would be probably the first one that I've done in the last sort of 3 or 4 years, is the Guild Hunter series by Nalini Singh. Now, I know I've told this story before, but what originally got me into reading these books, I love angel books. I'm very often disappointed by angel books. Anyway, I happened to be in a bookstore. I saw, oh God, which one was it? Okay, it had to have been Archangel's Heart, which I didn't realize that it was like book 9 in a series at that point. I just saw the beautiful cover of the angel wings, went, okay, maybe I'll try it. And then I very quickly worked out that I was not going to be starting with that book. So I went and downloaded book 1 and then promptly fell down a rabbit hole reading the Guild Hunter series. I think I read 8 books in the span of about a month from this series. So that was everything that was out at the time. No, actually, I think there was another book out at the time by the time I read Archangel's Heart. So I think I read the first 9 books in this series in a very short period of time, and I was hooked. That was my introduction to Nalini Singh. I did go back to the Psy Changeling series. You guys know I love that one, but I didn't read it in quite the same condensed period of time as I read the Guild Hunter series, at least not originally. Another series that I basically read back to back, and this one is only a short one. This one is a duet. It was the All the King's Men duet by Kennedy Ryan, which I just adored. It's a contemporary romance. It was fantastic. There was some political intrigue type things happening in here, an age gap romance, and I just adored it. Honestly, it's one of those ones I think I want to go back to and reread because I haven't read it in such a long time. Like, I read the first book and I couldn't wait. I had to read the next book immediately. Another series, this one was only 4 books long, but it was the Thornchapel series by Simone. I have to say though, I did read the first book and then I wasn't sure about it, and that was when it first came out. And then it was around the time that the final book had been released that I actually came back to it and I reread the series from start to finish in about a week. And I think I was on holidays and I just wanted something to read and I just could not stop. And Simone's books have that quality for me. Like, once I get started, I just have to keep reading. But this was one of those ones where I had read it and I remember when I first read it, I really enjoyed it, but there were a lot of other things going on in my life. So when I came back and reread it, like, I was instantly hooked and I kept going. Another series is the Kate Daniel series by Ilona. Again, this is another one where I read the first book and things were going on in my life. But then when I came back and I picked up the second book, I pretty much inhaled them in about 5 days. There are 10 books in this series. I then went on to read all of the extra books around it as well, plus the short stories and things like that. But the main series, like when I got started, I read 9 books in about a week and it was insane, but I loved it. The next one is totally Heather's fault. Heather from here Booktubes, I'll leave her link down below. She had recommended The Fixer to me for one of my vlogs where I was reading books that my friends had recommended to me. And I read The Fixer and I was so frustrated that I couldn't just drop everything and pick up the next book in the series. So I literally finished the books that I had to read for that video as fast as I could. And then I read the next, I think it was 6 books. I think there were 7 out at the time that I read this. 6 books back to back over like 3 days. I think I read 2 books a day. It was a school holiday. I couldn't stop reading because I was so deeply invested in these characters. They all belonged to a fixer agency, so it is contemporary romantic suspense. I have no regrets about doing that, and to this day it's probably my favorite Jessica Gadziala series. 2 of the most recent series that you've seen me do this with, I did it with the Brutal Birthright series by Sophie, Lark. Again, I read 1 book for a readathon, was really annoyed that I didn't just drop everything and continue to read the series, but as soon as the readathon was done, I read the rest of the series back to back. I have no interest in actually reading the follow-up series to it because I'm not at all interested in those characters, or a new adult story because these are contemporary dark romances. But I was so deeply invested in the story and it was just fantastic. I have zero regrets about reading that either. And then most recently, I've actually done this massive read of Nikki St books after I was talked into reading The Never King. Loved it, then read the Dark One straight away, then read her vampire book, and then read her demon trilogy straight after it, because I was so deeply invested in the world, and I'm convinced that there is some connection between all of the different series. So I couldn't help myself. They are short, they are very compulsively readable. I will probably read everything that Nikki St puts out now. Those are some of the series that I have marathoned back to back, and I have zero regrets about doing any of them, because to be honest, the longer that I put between reading books in a series, the less likely I am to come back to it. To me, sometimes it's just better just to jump into as many books as I can if I have the time and the space and the brain capacity to do that. I know that's not how everyone works, but it is how my brain functions. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. In the comments, I'd love to know, do you marathon book series? Or if you're not someone who marathons series all the time, is there one series that did really hook you and made you want to just keep reading? If you want to let me know that you're here but you don't want to leave a comment, feel free to leave your favorite emoji down below. Otherwise, I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.